Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're talking about a woman who has a pretty interesting definition of fatphobia. She believes that if someone is so afraid of gaining weight that they severely restrict their food intake, that person is automatically being fatphobic. And as you can probably imagine, that take did not go over particularly well with people online. Many people said she shouldn't try to call people with a mental disorder fatphobic, and some people actually agreed with her. After getting a bunch of negative comments from people online, she made a couple follow-up videos doubling down, explaining the situation further. We're going to watch the original video, read some of the comments, as well as take a look at her follow-up videos, so be sure to stick around until the end. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
Anorexia is fatphobia. Fatphobia is a requirement of the mental disorder.
Okay, I'm going to have to edit out a lot of things from this video because she's talking about a lot of subjects that are very controversial, but she's saying that people with a restrictive ED are fatphobic. It's a requirement of the condition, she says.
Anorexic people are
not eating enough food
because of fatphobia. They are suffering from fatphobia, and you offer them more grace than you offer fat people who are also suffering.
Well, I don't know if anybody's offering them more grace. These are just two ends of the spectrum, right? On one side, people aren't eating enough and they are very underweight. On the other side, people are eating to excess and are what is considered overweight or obese. These are just both sides of the spectrum. You're upset because you say people have more sympathy for people with restrictive EDs than they do for larger people.
From fatphobia. Are you internalizing that? You would rather see fat people die than extend them an ounce of the grace that you extend to people who are starving themselves to death visibly.
I don't think it's good to compare either one. Both of these things are very dangerous and shouldn't be taken lightly. No pun intended. That could have been a really good pun, but no. No, that would have been too hilarious. This video is too serious. We can't be that damn hilarious. That kind of rhymes. Bars. Damn it. I ruined the seriousness of it.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't extend grace to people who are starving themselves to death. As someone who did almost starve themselves to death. My God, the way you protect skinny people who are suffering at the hands of fatphobia, and you have none of that protective instinct for fat people who are suffering at the hands of fatphobia?
People tell larger people to lose weight all the time. I'm not saying they should. Just like they tell thinner people that they should gain weight. So what do you mean?
None of that protective instinct for fat people who are suffering at the hands of fatphobia?
Don't you get angry when people have a protective instinct and start giving you advice and telling you that you should lose weight and stuff? Doesn't that actually make us angry? Now you're saying you want people to try to protect you more.
Fat people suffer from anorexia. You don't even believe them.
Well, the number one criteria for having that particular restrictive ED is weight loss.
You encourage it. You want fat people to starve themselves. Look at my comments section on my video making fun of the fact that you guys want fat people not to eat. All of them. Yes, exactly, correct. Yes, fasting is good for you. The fact of the matter is that fatphobia kills people. It's killing skinny people. It is starving them to death and killing them.
I don't think it was fatphobia that made those people develop that mental disorder. When we read the comments in just a moment, we'll see most people's motivation when they have that particular mental disorder is not fatphobia. There are a lot of reasons that people go down that path. Sometimes it's about control. Sometimes it's about this, that, and the other thing. It's rarely, if ever, about what you said it was.
And it kills fat people because we are less likely to be diagnosed with cancer because of medical fatphobia. Are any of you aware? Are any of you thinking with your brains?
That's very ironic.
No. Shocker. And I know some of you checked out the second I was on the screen because I'm fat.
No, I think a lot of people might have checked out the second you started accusing people with restrictive EDs of being fatphobic. You guys don't have your own reasons for battling this mental illness. It's because you don't want to look Like me. Once again, we think that other random people know who we are and care. That's really bizarre. I'm pretty sure that's nobody's motivation when they have that particular mental illness. And then at the end of it, you start acting like we're morons. Like, did you get any of that? Like we're idiots or something. What? Let's take a look at some of the comments. Like I said, I'm gonna have to censor out a lot of stuff. This comment reads, girl, so eating is skinny phobia? This comment is asking her if people with the overconsumptive ED, the one where you eat too much, are skinny phobic. Restrictive EDs aren't always about weight though. This comment reads, if you think Anna is just about body image, then you know absolutely nothing about it. I'm genuinely trying to understand something from your perspective. Why is it that if a bigger person gains weight, the justifiable narrative is it's their body, their size doesn't dictate their worth, they have the right to do what they want with their body, etc., which I of course agree with, but when a person loses weight, people will say they're fat phobic, pro-Anna, selfish, a bad influence, unhealthy, etc. Does that not seem to be a double standard? Why is there a moral connotation to health on one end of the spectrum, but not the other? Health does not equal worth, right? And being too thin can be unhealthy, just like being overweight can also be unhealthy. Note, I said can, not is. I'm curious on your thoughts. All right, let's see if she responds to that. Her response is, okay, so you're not going to watch my video and understand it because I addressed this very thing. No, you didn't. There was a double standard. The answer is systemic fat phobia. Body positivity is an answer to a decades-long problem or blah, blah, blah. No, dude, stop. So you can't focus and you can't answer the question. That comment pointed out the double standard and you cannot counter that point. You just start talking about all this other stuff that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. You start talking about systemic yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. None of that counters what that person said at all. I'm shocked. This comment reads, so much more complex than this. Stop making a dig at disordered people. Someone responds to that and says, fat phobia means fear of weight gain, not just fat people. It's the literal definition. How many of these are her alternate accounts? Like all these accounts that come along and explain it for her? And also, haven't a lot of people said that fat phobia is actually anti-fat bias? Over the years, people have said, you're not actually afraid of fat people, but you're opposed to them, or you have anti-fat bias. Former therapist, not everyone who starts themselves is doing it because of weight, and even those who are focused on weight, when you really strip it all back, it's rarely about the weight at all. Making a very obvious take just so you can hate on disordered people is crazy. I don't think this was a very obvious take. I think it was a bad take that was inaccurate. She responds to that comment by saying, can you transcribe my video, please? I am convinced you didn't watch it. No, she did. She called out what you were doing. So people's mental illness is directly offensive to you? I developed the ED because of depression, actually. Anna people are suffering because they're mentally ill. Same as extremely obese people that also have EDs. No? I don't get it. Thin people also suffer from medical fat phobia. Tons of missed diagnoses because providers assume thin people are healthy. They don't assume all thin people are healthy. If you were thin enough to be underweight, they would notice that and they would not think that that was healthy, so I don't know what this person is talking about. If you are underweight, your doctor will definitely bring it up. You know that part where they weigh you? I'm giving you grace here, however, I'm going to say this loud and clear. Anna is not about fat phobia. To simplify an incredibly complex mental illness like this is very naive. Hun, they're usually not worrying about anything but themselves. I was Anna for roughly a year and a half, and I never gave a shit about what other people weighed. I was focused on keeping myself skinny, not others. Okay, so a lot of people think that her video was outrageous, and they point out the fact that people that are suffering with that mental illness, they're not concerned with what anybody else is doing. They're focused on themselves, and it's often not about body size at all. Now we're going to be taking a look at a follow-up video she made after getting a bunch of negative backlash.
I will probably post something more substantial very soon here because there are some points from that video that I do want to correct and also clarify.
Yes, I think we need to clarify a few points.
Because I'm seeing the obfuscation, I'm seeing the straw manning of my argument, I'm seeing people quite literally responding to the video based on comments that they've read and not based on watching the video.
No, some people watched it and they disagreed with what you said, actually. And they countered the points that you made in the video in their comment. So I don't know what you're on about.
This is a video, guys. It's not a Reddit thread.
Right, we watched the video, we heard the bad takes, we disagreed.
That to say, if you are planning on making me argue a point that I didn't make, not doing that.
You said that people with restrictive EDs are fatphobic, as in they have some sort of bias against larger people, and that's what mostly motivates them to do what they're doing, which is truly bizarre. Many of them pointed out that they're focused on themselves, and it's actually got nothing to do with body image at all, oftentimes. So
you're out of here. If you're gonna...
Hold on.
All that to say, if you are planning on making me argue a point that I didn't make, not doing that. You're out of here.
Okay, so you're blocking people when they question you about the things that you said in the video.
If you're gonna come at me sideways and tell me that I've never suffered from anorexia, I don't know what I'm talking about because I, looking the way I look, could have never done... You're out.
Okay, so you're also blocking people that are questioning your origin story?
It has all been very triggering in the last 24 hours, so be normal, please.
Be normal, please. After having all of those bad takes and getting called out for it. And then in that video, she went on to say, basically, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you're out. Like she's gonna block you or whatever. If you bring up a good question or make a good point that she doesn't have a counter for, you're out of here. I like how her retort to a lot of those comments was, did you even watch the video? Yes, they did, and they disagreed with the things that you said. That's why they're leaving that comment. Next.
Hey guys, just a reminder that I never called you fatphobic. Some of you believe that I called you fatphobic, and these are the things that you're commenting in my comment section.
Some of you believe that I called you fatphobic. You said that people with restrictive EDs are fatphobic. That's the literal definition of fatphobia. So yes, you did say that. So we're starting this video off with lies.
Shut the fuck up, you land whale.
All right, here's where you only read the comments that talk about your weight. You should probably show the comments where people made good points that you could not counter. This doesn't prove that all that other stuff I said was true because you guys made fun of me after that. And by the way, I'm not saying anybody should make fun of this person.
Who wants to get big? There's a reason this is filmed from the waist up, fat fuck.
Why aren't you including that comment where the person was calling you out for the double standard? That was a lot more poignant than these stupid comments that literally mean nothing. We're gonna feature all these. I'm like, look guys, oh my god, I was right. Like, this means nothing.
This is such an ignorant take, you whale. Everyone is fatphobic. Nobody likes fat people and nobody wants to be fat. Fatphobia doesn't exist. I don't know, guys. I'm getting conflicting reports. Right.
Right, you're only showing the stupid comments. Why didn't you read the comment that said, girls, so overconsumptive EDs are skinny phobia? Why didn't you read the comment where somebody said, Anna isn't always about weight though? If you think Anna is just about body image, then you know absolutely nothing about it. Why aren't you reading those comments out loud? You're only reading these stupid comments that literally mean nothing.
That's why you look like a whale, because of this mindset.
Oh, darn it. Darn that fatphobic internet. They never have a good retort, except for all that other stuff that they said that I'm gonna just ignore.
Wow, you guys are really not beating the allegations.
Now, the allegations weren't that everybody is fatphobic. The allegations were that you accused people with restrictive EDs of being fatphobic. Those were the allegations. You're trying to change the allegations to whatever this is.
Not gonna lie. You chose to be fat. They don't choose to be mentally ill. Fat is bad for you, so nothing wrong with being fatphobic. Are you guys fatphobic or are you not?
Did you say all that stuff about people with restrictive EDs or not? Because that's what this is about. It's not about whatever all this other stuff is. Can we focus?
The fact that I didn't even say that and you guys are telling me that you are?
The fact that you can't counter the points that people actually made is insane. You bring up all these comments that I didn't even see. I didn't see any of these comments. Or these are DMs.
Okay. People like yourselves eat themselves to death. So what phobia is that? I did not even call you guys fatphobic. I did not even say that having anorexia makes you fatphobic.
What? That's literally what you said.
And you're telling me to kill myself?
You're the one that said a bunch of offensive and mean stuff about people. So I don't even know what this video is. Why are we doing this? What?
Jesus Christ.
Wow. We really can't focus.
Fatphobia isn't a thing, by the way. All right. Okay. Look at you, though.
Right. What about the comments that actually made good points? I guess you didn't see any of those. Although I saw your retorts to those comments in the comments section, and you didn't have any good retorts. That's why you're not featuring them here. You're just featuring the comments where people are like, you are fat. That was dumb. So you can be like, look, everybody's mean to me. It's really bizarre, and it's not working. It doesn't work. We did not forget the previous video. I saw it 2 seconds ago.
What about me? Quickly. Are you gonna say people who work out are fatphobic next, or is that just because you've never set foot in a gym? Melanie, it's been a long day, okay? Well, you sound ridiculous. Everything is racist. Everything is fatphobic. Just take accountability for eating. Y'all are literally pissing on my fucking leg and telling me that it's raining.
I don't know what this video has to do with anything. This really doesn't have to do with all that crazy stuff you said, and you're not properly explaining why you said all that crazy stuff either. You're just going off on some tangent being like, look, people are mean to me. Forget all that mean stuff that I said about other people. People are mean to me.
What the fuck? You should be fatphobic. You shouldn't want to be fat, and you should try to lose weight. Which is it, guys? And it's honestly crazy to me because some of you have in your bio, if in recovery, DNI, do not interact. So why the fuck are you interacting with me?
What?
All because you think that I said having interact
Nobody thought you said anything. We just watched the video.
makes you a fatphobic person, makes you someone who hates fat people. I never said that.
Yes, you did.
Y'all are saying that.
No, you said that.
Half of you are like, who would want to be fat? Who would want to be fat? And it's wild because some of you are coming from a video that a creator made, misrepresenting my argument, and that's why you believe this.
No, I saw the video, and then I saw the comments, and I saw your response to the comments. And now you're making this bizarre video that's got nothing to do with anything.
But she told you I suffered from anorexia too, and this is the shit you feel comfortable saying to me?
Anorexia is fatphobia.
Okay, I thought you said you didn't say that. Let's hear it again.
Anorexia is fatphobia. Fatphobia is a requirement of the mental disorder.
Guys, just a reminder that I never called you fatphobic.
Anorexia is fatphobia.
Hey guys, just a reminder that I never called you fatphobic.
Anorexia is fatphobia.
Hey guys, just a reminder that I never called you fatphobic.
Anorexia is fatphobia.
Hey guys, just a reminder that I never called you fatphobic.
Anorexia is fatphobia.
Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys.
Anorexia is fatphobia.
Okay, and in that final clip, she told us that she never said all that stuff that she just said. Okay, I never said all that. And then we went back and watched exactly what she said. All right, that was a very bizarre string of videos that we just watched. Like I said, I'm gonna have to do a ton of censoring on this. So every other word is gonna be a bleep or a word cut out. This person said people with Anna are fatphobic. And then she went on to say, I never said that. And then instead of countering any of the points that people made in the comments, she only showed the comments where people were like, you are fat, making fun of her, so she didn't have to counter any of those other points. You only highlighted the dumb comments that didn't make any good points and glossed over all the good ones that you couldn't counter. Either way, the whole situation is pretty ridiculous, and she got called out by a lot of people online for her horrible takes. After getting called out, she tried to explain it away and be like, that's not what I said, when that's clearly what she said. A lot of people thought it was really ridiculous to try to internalize other people's mental illness that they're battling. It was truly bizarre, and a lot of people were not amused. Either way, what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Leave a comment below. If you would like to support the channel and get access to exclusive, uncensored, and unhinged content, please check out my Patreon linked below. I've already released part 1 of my 600-pound life reaction series, and part 4 of the Virgie Tovar book, You Have the Right to Remain Fat, is currently out. We have a ton of fun over there. Be sure to check it out. Happy Thursday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me